folks. My name is Boyle. I'm the mayor of Cibolo, and I just wanted to take a few moments to kind of address this COVID-19 virus and address some of the things that the city's doing, as well as provide just a few simple suggestions that you may already know. I can't give you any more information about the virus than you haven't already learned on TV or through the internet or whatnot. The situation is very fluid and it's changing pretty much on a daily, if not hourly basis. But some of the things that I want to let you know as a city are, we've met with several of the surrounding leaders and the communities in the county. And we are, as the city, we are taking a few precautions. Okay, so as far as our utilities go, we encourage all residents to pay their bills online to reduce the chance of spreading any virus. In order to make this option better for our families, we're waiving the 3% fee for our online transactions until April 15th. We're going to review that at that time and see if it needs to be extended further. Again, this is a very fluid situation and we want to use the best practices. Our park's going to remain open, and we encourage families to follow the CDC gathering guidelines. The bathrooms are being sanitized daily, and playground equipment is being thoroughly sanitized at least every 72 hours. This is possible through a partnership with Premier Pro, as well as our dedicated employees. They've been working very hard for you. They've been clipping grass. They've been working on our roads, and Cibolo is going to stay open for business as usual with these extra precautions in mind. Our facilities, our city lobby space in both the police department and city hall are going to be sanitized multiple times every day. The digital library is being sanitized at the YMCA, and the staff ensures hourly that we have a safe and healthy environment. Again, we are working with the YMCA brass and monitoring the situation very closely. Best practices, meetings will be limited and converted to digital settings when possible. Teleconferencing and screen sharing will be used to ensure our employees and colleagues are safe and projects will not adversely be impacted. As far as the city meetings go, right now they are planned as scheduled, but we urge that any non-pertinent folks that don't have anything directly to do with the business at that meeting do not attend. Rather, watch it online. That'll help reduce the exposure rate. We're following the state and national guidelines. The city events, large gatherings, as you may have already seen, have been postponed. Just this morning we spoke about the Easter egg hunt. We will postpone that, but we are going to incorporate that as part of the Cibolo Summer Nights program this summer. So we don't want to take these events away from our citizens, but we want to exercise precaution and be safe. So we're doing our best to try to satisfy both causes. At this time, our city officials are going to be working harder than ever. It is time to reflect and get familiar with our website and our apps, not just the city website and apps, but as well as the county and the state and the CDC are allowed to work at home. A lot of the students have prolonged spring break, and we don't know what that holds for us, but we'll be monitoring that very closely. But with that time that we have, hopefully you have a little bit more time to spend with the family. But I have some suggestions that we could look at doing, giving blood and donating clothing, and seeing what we can do to help the greater good. Our small businesses, there's been a lot of questions. They are open for business, and they need your support more than ever. We will not be closing the businesses unless it comes from a higher authority at this point. Unless the situation changes. Again, I will say that the situation is very fluid and none of us here are experts, and we're just trying our best. Educate your children. You know, as recent as last night, I pulled my 14-year-old aside and asked him, you know, what questions he had about the coronavirus, the COVID-19, and it was very enlightening. And we got to have some open dialogue, but I think just reassurance more than anything. My 10-year-old, he's very concerned about it because all he hears about is what's going on TV and everybody talking about it, and he doesn't have a good grasp of what's going on. So I think just being proactive with your children and your neighbors and having open dialogue with them is going to very much help the situation. And if you don't know, educate yourself, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, and like I said, use the resources that are available to you online, or pick up the phone the old-fashioned way and call up to City Hall, and if we have the answer, we'll definitely give it to you, and if not, we'll point you in the right direction. We're going to do our best. Take time to keep occupied while you have this time off. Check your smoke alarms and your fire extinguishers. Make sure that they're up to date. Put the sanitary procedures in place with your family. And keep that practice. When this is all over with, it's a good practice to have. Washing your hands before and after every meal, and before and after you go out to public places, while you're at public places. Practice your emergency plans. I know, especially during 9/11, your emergency plans, the family emergency plans, were very important, and unfortunately, we've kind of shied away from that over the years, and it takes an event like this to kind of brush up and get familiar with those practices. None of us know the economic impact of this, either immediate or short term, so try to think of ways outside the box and prepare yourself for what's to come. Like I said, open dialogue with friends and neighbors, and finding out what their businesses are telling them, and try to get as much information as possible. Take time to spend with your neighbors, communicate with them, use the buddy system to go get groceries. If you go to the grocery store and you're missing a few items, lean on your neighbor and vice versa. It'll help, number one, it'll help eliminate the numbers in the grocery stores, but also it'll help get the services that we need. Work on your bucket list, and when I say that, landscaping, hang pictures, call friends and family that you haven't talked to in a while, clean out your refrigerator and your freezers. I mean, it's a perfect time to do that. Take your kids, go fishing, go to Slaughter Park. We have a wonderful Frisbee golf course there. Take them, and if you haven't experienced it yet, go experience that. Get outdoors. Get away from the tube. Nimitz, we have a new ping pong table, and like I said, we're sanitizing every 72 hours, but bring your cleaning supplies with you. Be a good neighbor. No one can predict what the future has in store for us, but with God and community, we're going to come through this even better than ever. We all love Cibolo. It's time to come together and show why Cibolo is a place that we all chose to live. And a little bit of positive attitude is going to bring positive results. Thanks for listening, and this will be up on our website as well as our social media pages. Feel free to share, and we will be getting back with you with any more information that we have. Thank you.